Welcome in, everybody. Brett Allen here. Thanks for watching and listening. We are chatting Queen Sugar, the final season. So sad with Omar J. Dorsey, and his catalog of filmography and television is just broad. So I'm very excited to chat with you. Thank you for your time today and for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brett. Good to be here, brother.
Yes, well, this is the final season, and you all have had one heck of a run. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, for a show to get one or two seasons is one thing, but multiple seasons is huge. How do you feel about it? You're coming to the end of an iconic story and an iconic universe.
Yeah, it's like I never in a million years thought we'd have 7 seasons. Like you said, you're happy with 3 or 4, right? You're like, oh, okay, well, I really got a chance to tell that story. But for us to extend it and expand it so much and bring in so many new characters, and we started out with a certain amount of people, and then we bring in people like Tebby Townsend and McKinley Freeman and just different people every season. They come in. And so for the world to open up like it does, for the family to open up like it does, I mean, that is just tremendous.
It's massive. So let's talk about your character over the seasons, how they've changed, how they've progressed. How would you compare them from, say, season 1 or 2 to now? Like, how do you see that character myopically growing and his world that he's a part of?
Yeah, Hollywood, first coming in, he was the boyfriend of the matriarch of the family, played by Tina Lifford, played by Violet Bordelon, the boyfriend. He was in most of the episodes, but he jumped out of an episode here and there to go back. He was working on an oil rig in South Louisiana. So some episodes he might be in, some he might not. And so that's in the first season. The second season, we come in and Hollywood retires from that life. Gets a nice settlement check, opens up 2 businesses in the city, and basically becomes like a sage to the family.
Yeah.
He's there all the time. He's always, with the family. He's always has his opinions or has his suggestions. It's not opinions unsolicited, but just suggestions for the family. And they always tend to listen, except for Ralph Angel, of course. But, that's another thing.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's just been fun watching the character change and grow and progress. That has to be satisfying as a storyteller too, I would imagine, because really, instead of maybe, as you said, jumping in and jumping out, we really get a full picture. So what can people expect for this final run? I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, obviously, but what is on the horizon?
Even like I said, he started out as the boyfriend of the matriarch, then he becomes the husband. So with that, and also becomes an integral part of the community, right? So Hollywood, for this final season, they've brought in a couple of boys whose families were displaced. And so he's looking at, that, and of course their family come back, the father comes back to get them. But that really does something to Hollywood's mind. He's like, I need to do something more for the kids. So he starts running for school council. Hollywood and Vice started actually looking to, become foster parents. So that's something that's really going to be explored. That was really explored a lot in this final season. It's just the culmination of 7 years of living in a life. It's like you said, like, it's not just 1 or 2 years. I'm actually lived 7 years of Hollywood Desanay. I'm living dual lives. One is Omar Dorsey and one is Hollywood Desanay. So, for those 7 years, it's been like, as he grows and matures, Omar Dorsey grows and matures and learns a lot from Hollywood in that manner.
Yeah. Again, fantastic work. You've played a lot of different types of characters, and your range is quite wide. Where did that journey begin for you as an actor? Like, what was that first project that got you bit by the bug?
You know what? Like, my mother was a theater director since I was a child, since I was born, before I was born. So I'm sitting in theater rehearsals with her at 1 and 2 years old, watching these people on stage and wanting to do what they do. I want to play make believe, right? I want to play different characters. I just talked to the kid. I talked to the person. She was doing high school and professional. She was a high school teacher, and was over that drama program, and then directing on her own professionally in the city of Atlanta. So I would go to the high school, watch these kids, and like I just talked to him. He's talking totally different on stage than he talked like right here. So that was something else that always I always wanted to do. And then she became my teacher. I went to performing art high school, and then down here in Decatur, Georgia, and Avondale Estates, Georgia, is the CAP School for the Performing Arts, home of Donald Glover, Dorian Missick, Stacey Abrams, Erica Ash, Lloyd. A lot of great artists came from that school, but and politicians. But yeah, just,
That's
but
funny.
yeah, like but just it's just something I always wanted to do. And so me playing different characters, this comes from me being in theater, me going to performing art high school and being in the touring show, in the spring musical, and in the black box play at the same time. So doing 3 or 4 different characters, and then going to do summer theater, when I'm in college. And doing some Shakespeare at the same time I'm doing some August Wilson, at the same time I'm doing some stand-up comedy, so it's just that type of thing. It's something I've always loved to do, and it's so much fun to me.
Yeah. Have you ever considered focusing more on comedy? I know you've done that in the past. Is
Yeah.
that something that is still interesting? I mean, I know you do it here and there, but really maybe taking that and honing that, as if you're not already busy enough with your
Well,
film and
funny
television.
that you say that. So the next show that I'm doing is going to be Chuck Lorre show. So a show called How to Be a Bookie. It's the leads are Sebastian Maniscalco and myself, and it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. It's very funny. We start filming at the top of the year. But yeah, I said I've done so much drama, man, and I try my best to add some levity to it when I do it. But I said I need to get back to some comedy because I started out doing comedy. I started out doing Road Trip and Drumline and all the Todd Phillips movies, School for Scoundrels and Starsky and Hutch. And then I just transitioned into the drama somehow. I don't know. It's been really good for me, but I really said I want to really concentrate. I want people to know that I'm still funny. So I really wanted to concentrate on the next thing that I do is to be comedy. And luckily, hey, Chuck Lorre calls. And when Chuck Lorre calls, what are you supposed to do?
You say yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. That'll be on HBO Max next year. We start shooting that, like I said, at the top of the year in LA. So it's extremely excited about that.
That's cool. Yeah. And of course, we can't forget Entourage. That was
for sure. The thing about it is like every time I do HBO, it seems like every time I do HBO, it's a comedy because I used to be on Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
And those are my brothers, Danny McBride, Jody Hill, and David Gordon Green. Of course, they've kept me employed in all the Halloween movies. They write, produce, and direct those. I need to holler at David this week. He's in Atlanta. I think he's shooting The Exorcist right now. But yeah, so they gave me a lot of comic leeway when I was on Eastbound and Down for the final season. But yeah, so I want to just jump back in. And HBO always gives me the platform to be funny. And of course, it's like it's beautiful prestige TV over there.
How was your experience working with Danny? Because I understand he's just brilliant when it comes to performing, improv, all of the things.
Listen, man, it's like playing basketball with a dream team. It was myself, not even putting myself in there, but like when I was doing it, it was Ken Marino, it was John Reap, who's the winner of the Last Comic Standing, Danny McBride, Michael Beasley. It's all of these amazing improv comedy guys. And if you don't step up, you're going to get ran out the building. And so I was like, okay, all right. So the first couple of takes, I was like, first take, Danny was just running it over. And I was like, you know what, man, I'm not going to let that happen because I know how to do improv. I've been doing improv forever. So, man, like just working with Danny, and he is a genius, period. You got to understand, Danny writes.
Yeah.
All this stuff. He writes all the Eastbound and Down. He writes all the Righteous Gemstones. He writes the Halloween movies. He writes writes Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. He's writing these movies while in the same time being the lead of a TV show like Righteous Gemstones. So yeah, man, those are my cats. Those are my brothers. But yeah, if you don't show up to work, man, you're gonna get ran over. It's gonna be as if you don't have any lines because the pages are on the script. You know it. I mean, the words are on the script. You know what they want you to say. But then they start riffing on some stuff, and you better just jump in. You better be listening, better be right there attentive, because if not, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna get
Yeah,
lost.
I had Tim Baltz on last year from Righteous,
Yeah,
and he was saying the same thing. And I've had other people on the show who have worked with him, and it's like all or nothing. Fantastic. The final season of Queen Sugar. Be sure to watch and stream now. This
yeah,
new project coming out next year. Hopefully, we can get you back,
for sure.
and we'll talk about that.
Yes, yeah.
Sebastian Maniscalco. That sounds like a lot of fun. Congratulations on everything. I hope you have a wonderful, happy holiday.
You
Uh,
too.
it's going to be here soon. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, Omar. Thank you for your
Thank you, Brad.
graciousness and time.
All right, next time, brother.
You too.